This topic is what I call the pickup six model of creating curriculum. Years ago, I was in a situation where I was coaching some uh, programmers, basically moving from Fortran on mainframes to C++ on Windows systems. And there were some object-oriented techniques and concepts that I needed to teach. And the ones that were most important were actually fairly complicated. And I didn't feel I could just kind of tell them that. I didn't think they would understand it because they were also based on several other concepts. So it wasn't like just one thing, but it was a sequence of things. And what I really wanted was this bottom part. And I admit I didn't know how to do it. And uh, if you haven't listened to the topic before this on distinctions, that's important. I'll give a 15-second overview here. I suggest that the difference between an expert and someone who's not as competent is not so much experience as much as this, what I call distinctions, a set of concepts that they look at that non-experts don't, and vice versa. They don't look at some things that some newbies look at, and because they're misleading and not useful. So I was asking myself, what was I looking at that they weren't, and vice versa. And all of a sudden, I had this insight, like a pile of pickup sticks just showed up to me. And what I realized was what I wanted to teach was like this bottom stick on the pile. And in pickup sticks, you can only take off the stick so they don't move. So the bottom stick's not something you could get to. That was kind of like the situation I was in. Yeah, I want that bottom stick because it's worth more points, say, is what I wanted. And I can't get to it. But I remembered a friend of mine had said you can only teach people things they already almost know. And that was like the top stick. And it's kind of funny, but if you take the top stick off of a pile, there's another stick that's on top. And I realized that maybe the way to teach that bottom stick was not going to it, but rather take off the top stick, representing something they already almost knew. And then another one comes off, something they already almost know. And then something else comes off, they already almost know it. And I would basically be working through a series of simple concepts, each one of which they already almost know, until I finally get to the bottom stick. And this is why I call it the pickup sticks model of creating curriculum. What I'm doing is I'm looking at what I want to teach them, I'm looking at where they are, and I do this sequence of small steps to get there, adding distinctions, or if they need experience of hands-on, then I could add that as well. It's basically creates a path from where they are to where they want to go. And the metaphor of the pickup sticks pile, or the pile of pickup sticks, is a good one, I think, because there are some simple things you can teach people that then make it easier to understand more advanced concepts. That's basically the way to do it. Thanks. Hope you found this useful.